Welcome back to another Minecraft update video. It's not a snapshot, it is a pre-release. We have 1.14 pre-release 1, and the article here says that the team are feeling confident in the stability and feature completeness of the Village and Pillage update. And you'll see with this pre-release, there are a couple of things to talk about, but also a lot of bug fixes as well. The team has been busy. Last week we were also treated to 2 snapshots, which I didn't cover here on the main channel. And they had some interesting features in them, so we'll be seeing if those features made it through to pre-release 1. And I won't keep you on Minecraft.net forever, but last week we also had the release of Minecraft 3D, which was an April Fool's joke. If you'd like to know all about this, I did a video on my second channel. There'll be a link to it in the top right of your screen. So if this piques your interest, then click on that link and check it out. But otherwise, let's jump into pre-release 1. Okay, my friends, our first big change is on the F3 screen. I will highlight it near the bottom. There is a new line that says sounds. The first number, 00247, is the amount of sounds being played out of the maximum. So when I put down a couple of pigs, they will start to make sounds. They actually make one by default when I spawn one in, and then they will make some ambient noises after that. So as I start to spam more and more of them, you can see that number gets a little bit higher. If I fly up into the sky and we get further away from them, it goes back down to 0 because we can no longer hear the pigs. So that gives you an indicator of how many sounds you're hearing in the game. Now the additional number, 0/8, is for jukeboxes. So you can play 8 jukeboxes at once. This is going to make a hideous amount of noise, and as you can see, the number on the jukebox limit is slowly filling up. My friends, this is very disorienting. I feel like I might be going mad. Goodness me. So here we are in Minecraft 1.13 watching small creatures die. If a baby animal has ever been underneath one high water, they will actually drown in it despite coming back up to the surface. Obviously this is very cruel. Let's go and check it out in 1.14. Having hung out with these little creatures for a sufficient amount of time, we can see this one has been fixed. So baby pigs, cats, chickens, wolves, ocelots and silverfish would have been affected by this. You'll no longer see them drowning in one high water. Another little change in this update, if you were to edit a world and then go to the optimize world option, there is a new checkbox to erase cached data. Now I wonder, what does that mean? According to the website, it's height maps and light, and then it will get recomputed when the world is next loaded. So if you have lighting bugs in your world, bits of it that go very dark, I believe this is implemented to combat that. So you can click the button in the game, reload your world, and hopefully it will clear up those bugs. And I don't know if this is related, but there is a new folder inside of the world save, and that is POI. And in here it has a bunch of seemingly random region files with some information about them. This is a lot smaller than a regular region file. So I don't know what this is, but it could be related. I believe this next bug may only be related to the last couple of snapshots, but I have seen it quite a few times that the villagers don't run away from the Revenger, which has been addressed and fixed. There are also quite a few other mobs from the raids as well that they weren't running away for, so that has been taken care of. And I'd like to quickly mention that with exception to the first bug here, pretty much all of them are related to the last few cycles of Minecraft development. And that includes a bug that players will crouch with a delay, which is something I noticed when I checked out last week's snapshot. But it was the only quirky thing I discovered, and other players found lots of other quirkiness as well, including this action right here. A block can now manipulate the height of the player, so I automatically crouch. Now in the previous snapshot, this allowed the player to actually move at normal speed while crouched. And a correction they've made to this, so its behavior that's staying in the game, is that when you are crouched by a block, you will move slower. And by slower, I mean the same speed as regular crouching. So you can't crouch and move fast. But the fun isn't over yet, my friends. Look at that. Wow, it puts you into the swimming animation, even when you're on land. And that's so that you can fit inside the one high gap. So I wanted to wait and see if this would be in the pre-release, because this is kind of a game changer, right? I've got a tunnel set up down here. Now I can actually go and travel through it. Yep. This is a reality right here. I like it. I gotta say I like it, just maybe we need a crawling animation instead of a swimming one. Some more changes from last week's snapshot. Cats can now naturally spawn in villages and not just upon world generation. So I've got to thank my buddy Ilmango for the information on this one right here. I tried a little experiment. I had 3 villagers, 3 beds. That would constitute a village, but nothing here spawned. Turns out that you needed 4 of them. And there we go, a little kitty cat has spawned, thanks to the village we've created here. And here are the numbers. It can spawn 8 to 32 blocks away from the player if there are less than 5 cats loaded. And if it goes further than 48 blocks away from the player, it will despawn. And this can essentially happen once every minute. There is a chance of a cat spawning. So that means spawn rates would be incredibly slow, and this is probably not very optimal for a cat farm. And now we will quickly jump through some bug fixes and changes from this snapshot. Pillagers are no longer able to open doors. They will not interact with them whatsoever. Pillager outposts are now generating into the world again like they should do. They also won't generate inside of a village, which was actually possible in previous snapshots. Kelp will now break like sugarcane does, so rather than all of them at once, they will break one by one going upwards, which is still rather fast, but you can see they break one at a time. Soul Sand will now be able to conduct redstone. As you can see right here, you can't put torches and you can't put redstone dust on top of it, but it can pass power through it. Villagers will now stand still when you trade with them, so I've set up a trade and then the villager will stop moving and then it goes off again. Beacon beam updates are now instant. This doesn't include when you place the beacon, but if you make any changes to its colour, you can see that it updates this instantaneously, which was not the case in the past. So here in the village we have a Fletcher, and this Fletcher was able to trade arrows of luck. We thought this was a new feature in the previous snapshots. Turns out Mojang have considered it a bug, so you'll no longer be able to get the arrow of luck. So here we can see something that looks a little bit odd. This is actually a bug that I've recreated. If dirt was to turn to grass when it had a snow layer on top of it, it would remain as grass. Finally, this one has been patched though. If ever it spreads and it has a snow layer on top of it, it will convert it to the snowy texture. Hey, there we go. They're getting out of the composters. So if you played with the snapshots, you may have known once a mob goes inside a composter, it never leaves. This has been patched. They are now able to make their way out of there. Last of all, a bug fix for all of you technical players. We are in the spawn chunks, and spawn chunks are able to process entities again. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of this video. If you've enjoyed it, then please do leave a like, and of course make sure you're subscribed if you want to keep up to date with all the latest Minecraft development. 1.14 is now right around the corner, and I am excited. But that is it for me this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.